1, 2, 3. Ah, 1, 2, 3.
I mean, these chairs is not to view it as a backrest. It's really a butt rest. So like,
nobody ever eats turkey outside of Thanksgiving.
you can't keep your mouth shut.
Pecan.
Yeah, I'm arguing against this right now.
We're talking green poo all the way up the back towards the neck.
Oh, yikes.
You're not like a brontosaurus or something.
Like you eat like a herbivore.
So, I thought you were pretty awkward.
I'm having fun, but to be honest, I'm getting kind of hungry.
Well, now I am all fired up. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? My name is Clay Finklea, and I'm hanging out with my good friend
Alex Franklin.
And if you don't know Alex, he is a leader at our Carolina Forest House. He's also a leader in a lot of different areas of our church, and I'm excited to be hanging out with him today.
Dude,
and I'm excited to be hanging out with you as well, whether you were joining for a house group or you're a middle schooler or you're someone just checking us out digitally. Thank you so much for being here, and it's a perfect time for you to be here because we are in the second week of our series called Influencer. And this series, it's a series all about finding real influence in this world, because I think a lot of us, we all want influence in some sort or fashion, and this series is really going to help us actually achieve that in some way. When you were a kid, what would making it look like for you? Like if you said, this is what your life looks like to 10-year-old Alex.
Oh, bro.
What would that look like?
I think the stereotypical successful, everyone seeing you as this awesome hotshot guy with the, I was a big suit guy. Like I would love me a good suit.
Oh, no.
So I'm talking navy blue with the nice brown shoes. So that's a successful guy. And I'm a big car fan too, if you don't know me. So like, nice looking suit, hotshot guy with the good hair, and then getting out the nice car with maybe the gull wing door. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I think for me, I'm basically living it right now. I got my Hawaiian shirt on.
Life is good.
Life is good, bro. Making it is such a interesting concept because there's so many different avenues you can go. You can go like the lots of money, like drive a nice car, wear a suit. You got the way like you're just living on an island. You don't have hardly any money.
Yeah.
But you just posted.
I think making it is a different thing for a whole lot of people.
Very
diverse.
What I don't think is different for a lot of people is when we want it.
Yes.
Because I think for a lot of us, when it comes to making it and with our influence, we want it right now. We want to reach the end of the road right now.
100%.
We are using the idea of social media influencers as kind of a concept for influence during this series. Okay. Why do you think people are interested in social media influencers?
I think they use the idea behind a social media influencer to have the idea that they actually do influence like the thoughts and ideas that people may have using social media and using that as an avenue.
Right.
I don't particularly understand that because we had talked about like how I don't think necessarily behavior of people changes just because they think of someone on social media doing something.
Right.
I think that differs with maybe professional athletes or someone they see on social media. I think there's a lot of different routes you could go with that.
If my guess would be, is you look at those people and you're like, oh, they've made it.
Yep, exactly. And they
like,
got the lot of followers and they got the cool Instagram feed.
That's right. It's like, that's what I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be the person that's going from Paris to Tahiti to Jamaica to Northern Ireland, wherever.
Living the dream.
Northern Ireland did not fit in with those other ones, but that's what I think we picture, and it's like, oh, we've made it.
Right.
And I feel like there's this weird dichotomy between, oh, we want to make it, and we don't want to put in the work to make it to a certain spot.
I was thinking that when you were starting this.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of us, and I find myself this to be included, where we see what we want in life, and we say, okay, I want that right now.
Yep.
And we make decisions today based off what we're like, we have to have it right now. So we put matters into our own hands rather than putting them into God's hands.
Right.
And there's a great story. This whole series we're talking about Moses, where Moses takes things into his own hands rather than letting God do his thing. And it ends very poorly. So in Exodus 2, verse 10 through 15, I believe it is. Moses is walking, and he all of a sudden sees this Egyptian beating on the Israelites. And if you guys missed last week, the Egyptians were the slavers of the Israelites. The Israelites were slaves to the Egyptians, and they were just beating them and beating them and beating them. And Moses, he was actually technically like a kind of Egyptian, kind of Israelite, because he was picked up by the Egyptians and was raised in the palace. So he had some good power. And he saw this Egyptian beating on the Israelites, and he realized, man, those are my people.
Yep.
And he goes and kills the guy. Obviously, huge mistake.
Right.
He then goes and runs away and runs off and goes off on his own. Really kind of squanders a lot in his life. I think we do that a lot too. Why do you think we try to take matters into our own hands, just like Moses did?
Okay, so first off, I was really excited when you had brought this up to me, and that this is the topic we were going to be talking about, because it's extremely relatable.
Yeah.
Because I am one person to 100% try to take everything into my own hands. I don't like help from people.
Right.
I don't like doing that. So I was really excited for that. I think one thing that we struggle with, obviously, that you just said, is letting God just kind of take the reins of our lives. I think it's maybe because what we had talked about with the influencing, we don't want the patience to have the patience that comes with letting God just work out the things that he wants to in his time.
Wow.
Because unfortunately, the fact of the matter is that he works a lot of things out, and they take a while on it. Like a lot of the time, like there's things coming up in my life that I was like 3 years ago, I was like, wow, this is the situation, but now it's finally coming to fruition. I'm like, what is happening right now? So seeing those changes is really cool, but being in the moment and having to be patient is really difficult.
Why don't you think God gives us what we want right away?
I think, number one, it's just to prepare us for the good things and the bad things, to give us perspective on why this is happening. I think a lot of the time he prepares you for that in the time of waiting, just so you can fully comprehend it and appreciate what happened.
Wow. Wow.
I really do. I think that's a huge one. Because if he did give us that immediate satisfaction like we have nowadays so much, we wouldn't really comprehend and appreciate what actually took place there.
Wow.
We wouldn't gain that perspective and that patience that it requires.
Wow, that's so good. Yeah, I think that perspective key is huge.
Huge.
Because when you do
it.
have to wait, you're going to appreciate
Absolutely.
it that much more.
Absolutely.
How do you see high schoolers trying to make things happen on their own?
I think a lot of the time it has to do with relationships.
Oh,
I'm just going to throw it out.
It's about to get saucy.
Sorry, y'all.
About to get saucy.
The whole patience thing, the whole perspective thing, the whole waiting in the season of high school with so many different things happening in your life. Yeah. I think it is 100% relationships. I think trying to string yourself out for other people in friendships also, but particularly relationships where people don't necessarily have the same thought process that you do going into it, or maybe even the same respect for the other person. I know that's a really tough subject and thing to think about, but it really is.
The interesting thing about Moses is he made a very rash, quick decision to kill that Egyptian.
Yes.
Bold, aggressive move.
It was aggressive.
Very aggressive. And he just went and did it.
Just sent it.
So in those moments when we are feeling like, man, I need to put things into my own hands, man, I need to do something, I need to make this happen.
Yep.
How do we throttle ourselves back and logically think through things and trust God?
Dude, that is a golden question right there. I mean, so many problems of our lives would be solved if we could just figure that one out. I think, I keep saying this word a lot, and I don't mean to, but like the whole perspective behind understanding, hey, this might be something that's really prevalent in my life and I'm really struggling with, but I need to keep praying for patience and discernment to understand that God really does have a plan for me moving forward, whether that seems like it's actually happening right now or not. Because whether you're seeing the fruits of that or you're just in this season of being patient, I think it's really, really important, because that I mean, for me right now, that's something that I'm really, really having to deal with, and just being like, you know what, God, like, you do have control of my life, and I want to give that to you.
Wow. I find for me is I have to detach.
Yes. Rest.
I think that in the moments where I feel very impulsive, in the moments where I feel like I have to make this happen on my own, the moments where I'm like, okay, this I have to put these matters in my own hands, I have to detach from myself and my emotions that I'm having at that moment.
Dude, yeah.
Because you're so emotionally attached to situations. Like,
that's a really good
obviously
point.
Moses right there, he's going to be super
angry, and
frustrated, and
not cool, bro.
I mean, if you're going to kill someone, you're probably pretty angry, right?
Oh, dude.
But what I have to do is I have to take a second and go, okay, Clay, mentally take a step back.
That's a great point.
Breathe. Look at the emotions you're feeling now. Are you going to feel those emotions in 10, 15 minutes?
100%.
Are you going to feel those emotions in a day,
Absolutely.
a week? No? Okay. Be patient.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Clay, can you really change things right now? No.
No. Like if some
So don't try to.
right. Like if your action right now is going to help you, just
Okay. So, Alex, last question before we head
Yes.
into small groups,
Bring it
or
on.
if you have any questions digitally, hit us in the comments. How would you challenge our students to respond today as they go into small groups?
wow. That's a good question, bro. I think right now, what I would say do the most of is get involved with people who want to give you their time to grow into the position that you want or think you have. Just enjoy what you're doing now. Prepare yourself for the position that you want to be in as best you can. Pray a lot for discernment and for God to speak into you about what that looks like coming up soon.
That's good.
You know?
Yeah. It's the idea of using the influence you have now, but also preparing for the influence you'll have in the future.
Exactly. It's
Oh,
a double.
money.
It's a double kind of
That's
situation.
money. I love that though. It's absolutely, because no matter what age you are,
You always
can do
got
that. You can
and
do
you always
that.
got influence too.
yeah,
You
all
do.
you always have influence.
Always.
So, but also realize you can be patient.
Absolutely.
So.
Big deal.
All right, guys, we appreciate you tuning in today. We hope you have a great small group time. Or if you have any questions or anything like that, drop a comment. We'd love to talk to you. Hit a subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
See you guys.